is talking about.
What's up, family? Now just a few months removed from the tragic death of Nipsey Hussle, his peers have continued to mourn him and try to make sense of the devastating loss and offer insight as to where we may possibly go as a community from here. Big Sean happens to be one of the many artists who has honored Nipsey's legacy since his passing, and he recently made a video where he not only appeared to address Eric Holder directly, but also he emphasized the importance of perspective as well as the power of communication. You know what I wanted to say to the person who murdered Nipsey Hussle and to people like that who take somebody's life out of impulse or for revenge or whatever the case may be. Sean said to the camera, "You're making a permanent solution to a temporary problem." He went on to say that black men are taught to communicate through violence and aggression. Now, I dig what he was saying or what he was trying to say right there. But let me see if I can clean this up a little for him. I do believe that violence and aggression, handling conflict with violence and aggression, is not race specific. All you gotta do is turn on the news. You see all of these type of people from all kinds of backgrounds who has come from stable economic backgrounds. That's who's doing your mass murdering. These people who are going into the workplace and just gunning people down because they got fired or because they don't like somebody. Now, I will say this. Yes, I was raised in the hood, and I wasn't raised to settle conflict with fists, guns, and insults. Nobody set me down and said, okay, this is how you settle conflict with fists and guns and insults. You just kind of see how society operates, and then that's how you tend to operate. And, you know, we're all products of conditioning. So it doesn't really matter if you live in the hood or whether you live in the suburbs. If you witness conflict resolution by way of fists, guns, and insults, then that's how you are going to respond. Doesn't matter where you're from. The difference I tell you about people in the hood is that people in the hood just put their stuff out on Front Street. All these other people, they sneaky and conniving with it. You know, they gonna hit you with some pills or poison you or get a hitman to get you or whatever. People in the hood gonna settle it right there in the middle of the street like the Wild Wild West days. That's the biggest difference. But also, you know, you see a lot more of it in the hood, or you're gonna see that type of stuff anywhere where you have poverty and people who are, you know, don't have proper employment and stuff like that. You know, you already got all these type of issues brewing, and then you add on top of that conflict. Yeah, somebody probably will get their head bust. But this whole thing about, you know, violence and aggression being race specific, specifically isolated to black men, nah, dude, that ain't the business. But again, I do understand where he was going. We do need to, I would say, be a little more selective as to how we pursue the enemy. because a lot of us, we need to redirect that energy, man. Most of this energy, most of the people walk around mad. They mad at people who ain't had nothing to do with their situation. And that's all the way around the board. That ain't just black people. That's all people. Most people mad at people who ain't have nothing to do with their situation. And, just like the situation with middle America, those white boys, they mad as hell at everybody but the 1%ers like Donald Trump, who put them in the situation that they're in. Take their jobs overseas and then blame it on the Mexicans or the blacks. And they fall for it like dummies every single time. I don't get it. But yeah, conflict resolution is one of those things that you gotta want that. Like you have to want to do better in order to do better. You gotta want to respect other people. You gotta give respect. Dude that killed Nipsey, I don't know if anybody could have reached him. I just don't. Somebody that would do something that egregious, I just don't know if that dude could have been helped at all. So I can appreciate Big Sean saying something, even speaking on this, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's my first time heard him ever speak on any type of social issue, controversial social issue at that. That's my first time ever hearing him speak on anything. But, he got a big voice, and people with big voices, it's important that they use those voices for good, not evil. So I give him an A for effort, but we got to make sure we get that right, man. We can't allow when somebody misspeak, we can't allow it to go unchecked. So that's all I want to say about that. And we do need to really take a strong look at how we deal with each other, because oftentimes we quick to take off on each other. But George Zimmerman's still walking around. Darren Wilson's still walking around. And literally thousands of other cops who have killed black people for little or nothing at all, still walking around, going to picnics, barbecues, eating, partying, drinking, playing dominoes, cars, hiking, taking vacations, playing with their kids, while the black person's body is cold. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?